The Ethiopian Bible is one of the most mysterious and controversial books that ever existed. Even the country itself is shrouded in mysteries that can't be explained, but that's a story for another day. Ethiopia is home to one of the oldest civilizations in the world, and is the only country in Africa that was not colonized, and because of that, they can trace their lineage all the way back to Ham, one of the sons of Noah. This has even been collaborated with the Jews. But this video is not about the country itself, but about what the country possesses. Ethiopia has some of the oldest Bible scrolls that ever existed, even older than the famous KJV Bible. Other than the 66 books that make up the King James Bible, the Ethiopic Bible has 88 books and includes some works that other churches just don't have. The book has scrolls from the Old Testament, the New Testament, and scrolls that had never been seen before. And what makes this so interesting?
These ancient scrolls include texts that were lost or rejected by other churches, often due to their classification as pseudepigrapha or other non-canonical writings.
Imagine a time over 2,000 years ago when the Hebrew Scriptures needed a bridge to reach a wider audience. That bridge was the Septuagint. The Septuagint, often abbreviated as LXX, is the ancient Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible. It was created in Alexandria, Egypt, during the 3rd century BCE, a time when Greek was the common language of the region. According to tradition, it was commissioned by Ptolemy II Philadelphus, the ruler of Egypt. He invited 70 Jewish scholars to translate the Hebrew Scriptures into Greek, creating what we now call the Septuagint, named after the Latin word for 70. Some say this number represents the translators themselves. But why was this translation necessary? Many Jews of the diaspora, Jews living outside Israel, had adopted Greek as their primary language. The Septuagint allowed them to access their sacred texts in a language they could understand. The Septuagint wasn't just a convenience, it became a cornerstone for understanding the Hebrew Scriptures. Even the writers of the New Testament quoted from it, spreading its influence far beyond the Jewish community. In summary, the Septuagint stands as a testament to the merging of cultures and languages, a bridge connecting the Hebrew Scriptures to the wider Greek-speaking world. Its legacy continues to shape theology, translation, and scholarship to this day. Want to know how the Septuagint influenced early Christianity and modern translations? Follow along as we uncover its fascinating story.
And the Ethiopian church, we know that around the 4th century, missionaries from Syria went down to what then was referred to as the Kingdom of Aksum, which is in modern-day Ethiopia, and they brought with them a whole host of literature. And part of this literature was New Testament books in Greek and the Septuagint, the Greek translation of the Old Testament, which at that point was finalized. And the Ethiopian church took all of this literature, which included literature that nobody considered scripture at the time, and they appear to have just been non-discretionary and included everything. So all of the debates that were happening in the Latin West and the Greek East about what was and wasn't scripture, they looked at that and they said, we're not really interested in that. We'll just take everything. So in being non-discretionary, they end up just canonizing everything, which leaves them with a canon of scripture that is completely unique and includes books like Enoch, which the ancient Jews and every ancient Christian didn't believe. Well, actually, I should preface that. There were a couple of early Christians who said, we think this could be scripture, but then they accept when, all the debates happen that, okay, those are pretty good reasons, we're not going to accept it.
The Ethiopian Bible, believed to be the world's first illustrated Christian Bible, was written on goat skin and created around the early 5th century CE. Named after the monk Abba Garima, who is said to have copied the text in a single day with divine assistance, the Garima Gospels are beautifully illustrated and well preserved. The Ethiopian Heritage Fund has contributed to conserving this remarkable relic, which has been kept in the Garima Monastery near Adwa in the Tigray region of Ethiopia ever since its creation.